Alright, guess who is back? Slim Shady is, and so am I. This is the Dark Knight one-shot, Dark Knight Genesis. This came out early 97, I think. If you have never seen one of these reviews before, that is the level of research that goes into this. Vague guesses and predictions. Here is our credits page. We have art by the great Sam Cheung and a script by an editor. There are two purposes to this one shot. The first is to restore Dark Knight and Big Barda to the main Marvel universe. There was this disaster where the two of them were shunted over to the Ultraverse, and I didn't want to get into that rubbish. Marvel bought up Malibu Comics because they just wanted to own their ink and talent. They pretty much screwed Malibu Comics, and now Marvel staff are legally not allowed to even mention Malibu. This issue is very discreet and mysterious about where Dark Knight and Big Barda were stuck. They call it another dimension or in a place not our own. There are no specifics anywhere, so it seems that by this point Marvel had already been litigated. Anyway, Big Barda uses her powers to just open a portal to return home. It goes wrong and they both end up in the 13th century during the Crusades. So Dark Knight, he is trapped inside his ancestor's body for the second time in his history. And initially, it is his ancestor who is in control here, Eobard Garrington, which is a horrid name. He has no idea what is going on. I will explain the second purpose of this one-shot when there is an appropriate page, but it is not this because these are adverts, and after them, these ones here are Big Barda. The people of the time, they encounter Big Barda and they think that she is a witch. And then she is defended by Dark Knight's ancestor. There are some major continuity foul-ups going on here that we will get to now, because you see, this one-shot was also meant to reveal the unseen history between Dark Knight and the excellent men enemy, Neil Diamond. What happened was, in the Bloodlines crossover, the two characters met each other, and Dark Knight thought to himself that he recognised Neil Diamond from somewhere. So this here is meant to be the answer. They know each other from the Crusades. You didn't need me to tell you that this doesn't work at all, because Bloodlines has already happened for Dark Knight and Big Barda. So it makes zero sense that Darth Knight would know Neil Diamond from an adventure that he hasn't even had yet. There are a few fixes for this though, and here is the most obvious one. Darth Knight knew Neil Diamond in the Crusades, but this was not what it was referring to. It gets complicated because Darth Knight was also sent back to the Crusades in the 70s too. But outside of this story that we are seeing here, Darth Knight from the 70s was otherwise in control of his ancestor's body. It stands to reason that the time-displaced 70s Darth Knight met Neil Diamond around the events of this story. He knew him before this issue began, and he knew him after it ends. It gets really confusing and pointless when you start thinking about the internal mechanics of this, and that we are possibly looking at Darth Knight's ancestor who was being possessed by 70s Darth Knight, being possessed again on top of that by 90s Darth Knight. It sounds like gibberish, doesn't it? Neil Diamond has a slight problem too. He obviously knows of Darth Knight. Darth Knight's ancestor is a big part of his backstory in this, but in the Bloodlines crossover, Neil Diamond didn't express any awareness or familiarity to Darth Knight. And more telling, to Big Barda, who he has a whole big long fight with in Bloodlines. So, what is good about this issue? Darth Knight and Big Barda. This is solidifying their relationship and really pushing it as an actual serious pairing. There was always this notion beforehand that it was a one-sided thing and that Darth Knight really wanted to be with Iris West, but Big Barda was forcing him into a relationship with her. Well, this gan's above and beyond in resolving that and showing that Darth Knight does actually love Big Barda. That is nice. And then immediately after this, they break up off panel. Our actual story is that Neil Diamond, he has gone in search of great power that he thinks lies beyond yonder hill or whatever. So he fights this insectoid thing, which is when his muty psi powers manifest. Neil Diamond is a very powerful telekinetic muty. And we cut back to Darth Knight and Big Barda. We get a little recap of their history that amusingly excludes any mention of the Ultraverse. And then Darth Knight and Big Barda, they have a kiss. And after the kiss, Darth Knight, his mind comes to the front and replaces his ancestor or his 70s self as the driving force of the body. It is fucking tragic and sad and pathetic that after this, Marvel broke this couple up off panel and had Darth Knight terribly try to fuck Iris West again. I have reviewed that issue. I would consider it a character assassination, but I didn't think the writer understood that it was a really shitty look for Darth Knight. I wonder if anyone doesn't realise that these visual cutaways are a blatant crutch to make it easier for me to review comics after 2 months of not doing it. I think it might also help new viewers if, when I casually say Iris West, there is a clue that I'm talking about Crystal. Oh look, Armageddon is here. He was that great power that Neil Diamond went in search of. And now, this here, this is meant to be the scene that pays off that one line in Bloodlines. This is meant to be the big scene where Darth Knight meets Neil Diamond. And the truth is, the whole unseen history thing was basically a trope in 90s Excellent Men. Basically, whenever anyone met Cables, they usually already knew him from some never-before-revealed adventure. We get a duel between Darth Knight and Neil Diamond at the behest of Armageddon to determine which among them is strong and fit. I'm not sure how nobody involved pointed out that this doesn't resolve that mystery from Bloodlines. It just makes it more complicated. You didn't really need to show this either. You could just have a throwaway line where one of them mentions that they encountered the other in the Crusades. And that way, you didn't have this Darth Knight chronological mess. Big Barda intervenes, and she says, "Don't you see? This is why you recognised him in our time." That was Darth Knight Genesis, or Darth Knight Neil Diamond, if you prefer. Despite the enormous fucking hole in the story, it is enjoyable. Nice art, decent script, character stuff. It ends with them saying, "Let's go home." I think I respect trying to answer this question and falling on your face like this more than simply not doing it. I'll give this a 7 thumbs up.